Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. As you can tell from the title below, I am gonna be telling you guys about my trip to Romania. Oh my gosh, so many of you have been watching the entire journey on Facebook or on YouTube, and it's been seriously amazing, you know, sharing it with you. And now that I am home, everyone is wanting to hear about it and, you know, wants to know what happened. So I am making this video for myself and for my friends and family, both on Facebook and on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for clicking this video, and let's go ahead and get started. So as you all know, I found my birth family about 2 years ago in May through Facebook. My mother had actually found them just by plugging in their information on Facebook, and she found a group of, you know, Rusus, that's her last name. She found a group of them and they were all friends on Facebook, and they all had the correct birth date, and their names were identical to the piece of paper that the orphanage had given them. So that was really cool. And so she messaged one of my siblings and she was like, "Hi, my name is Janet and I believe we adopted your younger sister, Lavinia, and we believe that you guys are her birth family, birth sister and birth brothers and mom and dad." And my sister never responded. So when my mom told me a few days later, I was like, oh my gosh, I was overwhelmed and I was super happy, and I was just crying for days at a time, because this has been seriously an answer to prayers that I would meet my birth family, and more or less that I would find them and that I would know that they were okay. So I messaged Catalina, that was who my mom messaged. So I messaged her and I was like, "Hi, my name is Lavinia. I believe I am your birth sister." And then I told her the story that I knew of, you know, where I was born on October 11th. I was premature. I was orphaned right at birth. I didn't know why. You have the same name as one of my siblings that I have on this legal document. And I sent her a picture of the legal document. She was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, you are a long lost sister." And she told the entire Rusu family, and everyone was just overjoyed. And I told everyone in my family, and everyone here was overjoyed. And it was just a very, very, very happy few days. You know, we were all, you know, crying of happiness and just, you know, thanking, you know, God for answering our prayers. You know, we have been waiting for this, you know, our entire lives, and just to know that they were all okay, it was amazing. And I communicated with Catalina like almost every single day, and we would just talk and we'd tell each other a little bit more about ourselves. That's what I did for 2 years, is I communicated with each and every one of my siblings, and it was just amazing. It's like, oh my gosh, my family just grew like doubled in size. You know, how it all started was just my mom searching on Facebook, and, you know, everything just connected, and it was amazing. In December of last year, my mom and I were planning our trip to Fort Walton Beach, Florida, which, as you know, I go to Fort Walton Beach every single summer. And instead of going to Fort Walton Beach this summer, we decided to go to Romania to meet my birth family. We thought that it was well overdue. We had been communicating with friends and family over in Romania for about 2 years now, and we thought that it was time that we actually like go over there and meet them. And then in May of 2016, we flew out to Italy and to Romania, and it was quite an amazing journey, and I am so glad that we did this, because I have been worrying and wondering for many, many, many years. Like, my entire life was like, who am I? Where did I come from? Who do I look like? You know, stuff like that. And so we left to go to Italy first because Catalina, the one that I had first messaged on Facebook, she lives in Italy, and the reason why I am closest to her is because she is the one that has told me the story of, you know, what happened in my family and what happened to me at birth. And she speaks English, and so she's kind of like my go-to sibling, you know, because she communicates with me very well. You know, we understand each other, and you know, we just have this really close bond. And so we went to Italy first to meet her and Stefano, and what I did not know was that my birth brother Daniel was in Italy at the time working. And so when we got off the airplane and claimed our luggage, we walked out of the exit, and Daniel was holding this big sign like "Welcome Janet and Lavinia," and I just ran to them and we hugged and cried. It felt like a dream. It seriously felt like a dream. I am hugging my biological brother and sister. I never thought that this day would come. Never in a million years. It is all because of one person, God. He brought my family together on both ends of the world, and I will never forget that moment for the rest of my life. You know, that moment when we got off the plane and we saw them, we like hooked eyes and we just smiled and cried and hugged. 6 days we stayed in Italy with my sister Catalina and her husband Stefano and Daniel, and Stefano's aunt lives with them in Italy, so it was kind of like a cute little, you know, family get together. And when we were in Italy, we relaxed, we talked, we shared pictures. My mom and I brought pictures of my childhood. We brought them with us so that we could share with Daniel and Catalina. That first week in Italy, you know, we kind of caught up. They would tell me about, you know, life here in Romania, and, you know, they would tell me about the other siblings and mom and dad, and just how life was growing up, and you know, how they all work and what they do, you know, for a living. It was just phenomenal. And a few of the days my mom and we actually got to go to Rome, Italy, and we viewed the Colosseums and the monuments, and we just walked around and read all about Italy's history. It was absolutely phenomenal, and I have all of this on YouTube as well, so you need to go back to my travel vlogs and check them out, because I vlogged a little bit of this trip because there was no way I could not. We were in Italy from Monday to Saturday, and then Saturday we flew from Italy to Romania, and that was only like a 2.5 hour flight. It's like flying from St. Louis to Chicago. Like, it's not bad. And so we flew to Romania, and we were planning on driving straight to our hotel just because it was near midnight and we were tired. We'd been traveling, and we actually had to drop my brother off at my birth mom's house because that's where he was going to stay when we were in Romania. And so my sister Catalina was like, would you like to come in and meet your mom? You know, I know you were planning on meeting everybody tomorrow, but since we're dropping off Daniel, would you want to meet her? And I was like, and at that moment my stomach just kind of went upside down. I had been, you know, preparing myself to meet my biological mother and father and just the rest of the clan. You know, I had been nervous about this entire trip since the day we brought it up. You know, I was more nervous than excited. I had all these thoughts, and I was just constantly worrying, which I shouldn't have, because I knew we were going to be okay. So we pulled up to my mom's house, and I just looked out of the taxi and I could see her house, and the lights were on, and I could see movement inside, and I was like, oh my gosh, God, please be with me. I am about to do something that no other adopted kid is going to be able to do. You know, so many adopted children never meet their biological parents. It's rare. And I was going to look at my mother and see my birth mom. Okay, I need to contain myself. So we got out of the taxi and we walked into her gate. She has a gate. We walked in, and I walked up to the stairs, and the first person to jump out of her doorway was my brother Julian. It's Julian, but their J is pronounced with a Y, so it was Julian. He jumped out of the door and he just hugged me super tight, and he just looked at me with like these big green eyes, and he was just like, oh my gosh, I am meeting my sister. And his wife came out. Her name is Mihaela. She's a few months younger than me actually, and she came out and hugged me. And then the last person to come out was my mom, my birth mom. She was speaking all sorts of Romanian, and she was really soft-spoken. Like, she talked very quietly, and she looked at me and she was crying and she was smiling, and she just kept touching my face and holding me and saying stuff in Romanian that I don't know what she said, but I am sure she was beyond happy that she was holding once her child 20 years ago, and she is now holding her again. She never thought that she would ever see me again, and to be, you know, hugging her and looking at her and just seeing like the pure happiness in her eyes, it was pretty amazing. Again, that is something I will never ever forget. So we were in Romania from about Sunday to Thursday, and during those days I met the other 6 of my siblings. I am one of 7 children, and I met my 5 nieces and 1 nephew. And each day that we were in Romania, I went to a different sibling's house, and we would be there all day, and we would just look at each other and smile. I mean, communication was very difficult over there because the only person that could speak Romanian and English was my sister Catalina, and she was with us the entire time. She was kind of like our guide and translator, and oh, my leg's falling asleep. And she was the one that communicated between my mom and I and my birth family. They would show me around their farm. They had horses and ducks and roosters and dogs and cats, and it was just extremely beautiful. And I just remember 2 of my younger nieces being very interested in me. They always wanted to be around me, and they were always hugging me and looking at me and smiling at me, and they would take their older sister's phone and they would take pictures of me. They were just so curious about me. They just wanted to know more about me. I had downloaded an app on my phone. It was about $11, and it's where you can speak into the phone and it will translate to whatever language that you want, and we use that to talk to each other. And the girls would ask me questions and I would answer, and they would ask me all sorts of stuff, you know, about America and about who I am. Like, are you my mommy's sister? And I said, yes, you are my niece. It was just adorable, and just seeing the way that my birth family live and how they live out their lives, it's very different than America. We are blessed as Americans, I can tell you that. I had never really been exposed to poverty, and my birth family live in poverty. I mean, yes, they do have a roof over their heads, but they struggle every single day to get food, to make money. They are okay. And it hurts me to come back to America knowing that I have this wonderful house, my own car, I'm going to school and work. And you know, in Romania, children stop going to school after the 8th grade because they have to help make money for the family, and to, you know, help work and produce the crops that they need to take to the market and that they need to make, you know, their meals with. And just being in Romania with my family and just loving on them, being with each other, like, it was so surreal. It's like all 7 of us children, my birth mom and my birth dad, it's like we were one family again. It's like my birth family had been missing one child for 20 years, and to have everyone together again, nieces and nephews included, it was like the puzzle had been complete. We were missing that last piece, and just for me to be over there and with them and walking in my hometown with them, it really felt like a dream. We were just in each other's presence, and that was enough. You know, I saw my brother and sister's homes that they were living in, and they showed me around, and it's like, you guys are just hearing this and watching this, but I'm actually like, I'm seeing it as I'm talking it, and whew, man. Okay, so just being with my birth family for those Those 5 days was definitely not enough. I mean, yes, I was with my birth family every single day. It was so unbelievably sad to leave them. I said goodbye to my siblings Wednesday night, actually, because our flight was Thursday morning. Everyone just hugged me and smiled, and you know, I never know when I'm going back over there. You know, it could be years that when I go back, because going to Europe is extremely expensive, let alone Italy and Romania. I mean, Romania wasn't expensive, but just having to travel over to Europe is expensive. Leaving my birth family, not knowing when I'm going to see them again. So we flew back. We actually flew back to Italy from Romania, and then we were in Italy just for one day, like kind of like a day of rest and packing and, you know, gathering all of our documents together. And we flew back Saturday. We flew from Rome, Italy to Toronto, Canada, which, if you guys hadn't seen my Facebook post, we were actually stuck in Canada just for a day. Rome, Italy did not give us our connecting boarding passes from Toronto to St. Louis. So we tried to recheck in time to make our flight, but it was too late, and so they booked us on an 8 o'clock flight the next morning. So my mom and I had to sleep in an airport, and it was probably the most difficult thing I had ever done, is sleeping on a bench in an airport with hundreds of other people, because we were not the only ones that had happened to. So, you know, it was quite an experience. I feel like my life is complete. I know who I am biologically. I know I am a child to my mom, Tim and Janet, and I know I am a child to my parents over in Romania, Veronica and Nikolai Rusu. And I know that I am a child of God, because without God, none of this would have happened. So I hoped this video helped hundreds of people, because so many people want to know about Romania and Italy in full detail, and you know, I don't want to be saying it hundreds of times. So I made this video to tell the story once, and you can watch this as many times as you want. I made this video again for myself and for everybody who has been following me along with this journey, you know, meeting my birth family and figuring out who I am. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you got what you wanted out of this video. And friends and family on Facebook, if you are watching this, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I know many of you wanted to hear about my trip to Romania, and I was super happy to tell you all about it, because then I could just remember it more by telling you guys. If you are a subscriber on YouTube, go ahead and hit that wonderful red subscribe button. I am officially at 400 subscribers, which is phenomenal. I could not be here without you guys, and as I promised you, I am doing a giveaway, so I will be putting up a video in the next few days about the giveaway, and just, you guys are awesome. Again, hit subscribe, comment down below, give this video a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in 3 days. Bye.